History is full of great battles, discoveries, and inventions. But somewhere between all that genius, people still found new ways to die stupidly. These are some of the weirdest deaths ever recorded. And yes, every one of them actually happened. Number 1. It's the year 1184. A grand meeting is held in a German castle. Dozens of nobles gathered to settle a land dispute. The air's thick with pride, perfume, and political tension. They argue, they shout, and not one of them notices the wooden floor beneath their feet, slowly giving up on life. Suddenly, crack. The entire floor collapses. Nobles, robes, crowns all vanish into the darkness below. For a second, it's silent. Then comes the smell. They hadn't just fallen. They dropped straight into a medieval cesspit. Some screamed for help. Others realized what they were drowning in. And just like that, the great land dispute was settled. They gathered to solve a land dispute and left buried in the worst kind of property, sewage. Number 2, Rome, a royal feast. Tiberius Claudius Drusus, son of the emperor, is feeling playful. He lifts a ripe pear into the air, showing off to his guests. "Watch this," he says, tossing it high above his head. The room watches. The pear spins. He catches it perfectly, right in his throat. At first, laughter, then choking. People panic, slap his back, pour wine. Nothing works. The emperor's son dies right there, surrounded by horrified dinner guests and one extremely guilty pear. Historians wrote that it was an accident. But honestly, that pear probably won the quietest rebellion in Roman history. Number 3, King Martin of Aragon wasn't having a great day. He'd eaten too much dinner, had indigestion, and sent for his favorite jester, Bora, to cheer him up. The jester arrives late. The king, half joking, asks, "Where have you been?" Bora smirks. "Out in the vineyard, sire, where I saw a deer hanging by its tail from a tree. Punished, I think, for stealing figs." There's a pause. Then the king bursts out laughing, harder, louder, until the laughter turns into gasps. Servants rush in. Too late. The king of Aragon had literally laughed himself to death. They say laughter is the best medicine. Not always. Sometimes it's the overdose. Number 4. Picture this. Ancient Greece. The sun's sharp, the air smells of olives, and one of history's greatest playwrights, Aeschylus, sits outside thinking about his next masterpiece. He's fought wars, written tragedies, and survived everything life's thrown at him. Almost everything. Above him, an eagle soars. It's clutching a tortoise, hungry, searching for a rock to smash it open on. From high above, the bird spots something shiny. A perfect round stone. Except, it isn't a stone. It's Aeschylus's bald head. The eagle dives, releases the tortoise, and fate writes its weirdest ending yet. Aeschylus, the father of tragedy, killed by falling wildlife. No prophecy, no battlefield, just a hungry bird with bad aim. He spent his life writing about fate, and then became its punchline. Number 5. France, 1912. An inventor named Franz Reichelt stands at the edge of the Eiffel Tower. He's wearing his invention, a parachute coat. The crowd below cheers, reporters scribble, cameras roll. He hesitates once, then steps off. The coat flutters, then folds. He doesn't float, he plummets. The crowd gasps, then goes silent. His dream was to make flying safer. He just forgot to test it on a dummy first. Number 6. England, 1979. A man named David had hiccups for 3 days straight, the kind that turn every conversation into a jump scare. He tried water, sugar, holding his breath. Nothing worked. So his friend said, "What if I scare them out of you?" David agreed. A door slammed, a scream echoed, and for the first time in 3 days, silence. The hiccups were gone. Completely. Maybe a little too gone. Let's just say the cure worked, and it's not recommended. Italy. A quiet night in the countryside, the kind of silence only broken by crickets and the faint hum of the wind through the hills. In a small town near Bergamo, a farmer named Giacomo finishes his nightly routine. He locks up his warehouse, pats the walls proudly, and smiles. Inside, stacked from floor to ceiling, are wheels of Parmesan. Thousands of them, a lifetime of work. The air inside smells like money, patience, and perfection. He's been aging that cheese for years, turning milk into gold, brick by brick, wheel by wheel. But even gold gets heavy. Around midnight, something shifts. Maybe it's a crack in the shelf. Maybe it's just time collecting its debt. A low groan echoes through the dark, then another. And then it happens. The entire warehouse begins to move. One shelf falls, then another. In seconds, it becomes a roaring avalanche of cheese, each wheel weighing as much as a bowling ball, rolling, smashing, stacking, collapsing. The sound is deafening. The air fills with dust, splinters, and the smell of dairy and disaster. When rescue crews arrive, all they can see are shattered shelves and endless wheels of Parmesan. It takes hours to dig through, and there, under a mountain of his life's work, they find him. He didn't die in an accident. He died in an irony, crushed by success, buried under the very thing he built with love. It wasn't an earthquake. It wasn't an act of God. It was dinner fighting back. Number 8. The year is 1983. A man walks into a hospital for an MRI scan. Metal necklace still around his neck. The machine hums to life. The magnet pulls. The chain snaps forward, straight through his throat. Doctors say it was an accident. The machine just wanted a closer look. Number 9. India. A woman keeps a pet cobra for good luck. One night, she accidentally steps on its tail. The snake strikes once, twice. She dies instantly. But the cobra doesn't live long either. Her husband, furious, grabs the snake and bites it back. Authorities found them both the next morning. 2 bodies, 1 grudge, and the strangest definition of couples fight in history. Number 10. Australia, 2006. The ocean is calm, clear, endless, the kind of blue that looks harmless until you remember everything inside. It can kill you. Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, is out filming another wildlife special. He's done this 1,000 times before. Crocodiles, snakes, sharks, all face to face, all under his steady voice and fearless grin. To him, danger was just another co-star. But this time, it wasn't a crocodile. It was a stingray. He dives into shallow water, camera rolling. The ray glides beneath him, its long tail swaying like a ribbon. Then, one flick, a single, perfect strike. The barb goes straight through his chest. He pulls it out, tries to breathe, still thinking of the camera, the crew, the show, then collapses. The man who wrestled the deadliest creatures on Earth was taken down by one of the quietest, not through recklessness, not through fear, but through the same love of nature that made him famous. The ocean gave him everything, and in one heartbeat, took it back. Number 11. Turkey. A small mountain village, bright with music and food. Antasku Behapar is Antainsh. The kind of day that feels untouchable. Families are preparing a feast for the festival. On the rooftop, a young boy climbs up to get a better view. He laughs as fireworks crackle below. Down in the courtyard, his father ties up a goat, the animal meant for sacrifice. But goats don't like waiting. It kicks, thrashes, pulls free. The rope snaps. In panic, it leaps. The boy doesn't even have time to look up. The goat lands square on him. One impossible final moment of chaos. When the music stopped, the village fell silent. No one spoke for minutes. Some cried, others prayed, but most just stood frozen, trying to make sense of what they'd seen. A festival meant to celebrate life turned into one of the strangest tragedies in local history. After that day, no one in that village ever joked about luck again. Number 12. Poland. A quiet afternoon, An old man named Marek decides it's finally time to clean his chimney. Soot everywhere, smoke billowing. The kind of job you always say you'll do someday. But Marek was no ordinary fixer. He wanted to innovate. He drags out an old vacuum cleaner. "Why waste time with brushes?" he mutters. He hooks it up to a gas-powered leaf blower, homemade engineering at its finest. The engine sputters, coughs, then roars. Inside the chimney, dry soot turns into a black tornado, then sparks, then boom! The roof lifts. The walls rattle. Marek lifts clean off the ground, straight out through the attic like a cartoon character. Firefighters found him 3 houses away, still clutching what was left of the vacuum hose. The newspapers didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The headline said it all: DIY gone to the sky. Number 13. Ancient Athens. A lawmaker named Draco, loved by the people, steps onto a stage to greet his fans. They cheer. They throw hats, cloaks, tunics, everything to honor him. But the pile grows taller. He disappears beneath it, smothered by gifts. The first man in history to be killed by kindness. Number 14. Austria, 1567. Hans Steininger was a legend in his town, not for his courage or his wealth, but for one majestic beard. 4.5 feet long, groomed like a royal carpet. He was so proud, he kept it rolled and tucked into his pocket while walking. Then came the day everything burned. A fire tore through the marketplace. Chaos, smoke, people running. Hans forgot one tiny step. He didn't roll up the beard. As he ran down the street, he tripped on himself, fell hard, broke his neck, and died instantly. The beard survived and still sits in a museum today. It outlived its owner and probably still looks fabulous. Number 15. England, 1911. An actress named Isadora Duncan was the face of grace. Flowing gowns, endless scarves, always moving like the wind. She believed fabric should dance with you. But one night in France, it danced a little too close. She steps into a sports car, scarf trailing behind her. The engine roars, the scarf flutters, then catches in the wheel. Before anyone can react, it tightens, snapping her neck instantly. The car stops. The scarf still flaps, mocking the silence. Her last performance wasn't on stage. It was written by fashion and fate. Number 16. Spain, 1478. A nobleman named Diego eats like every meal is his last. Roasted boar, honeyed figs, gallons of wine. One night, he actually wasn't wrong. After hours of eating, he demanded dessert. "More pastries!" he shouted. The kitchen obeyed. He devoured them all, laughing at the servants gasping in disbelief. Then his laughter faded. The color drained from his face, and Diego slumped over the table, his crown half tilted, surrounded by crumbs and chaos. He wanted to go out full, and he did, full of everything. Number 17. America, 1982. A game show called The Price is Right. A contestant wins a brand new car. She jumps up screaming, spinning in circles, heart pounding like fireworks. The crowd chants her name. Then she freezes. Smiles fade. She collapses right there on stage. The medics rush in, cameras cut. She died of a heart attack. As no one knew whether to cheer or mourn. Number 18. England, 1871. A zookeeper at the Royal Gardens loved his lions like family. He'd feed them by hand, pet them, even kiss their noses. Visitors called him the Lion Whisperer. One day, a lioness gave birth, and he wanted to show her off. He opened the cage. The mother didn't recognize the man she'd always trusted. Instinct took over. He didn't even scream. Witnesses said the lion stood silent after, as if they understood. Sometimes love doesn't tame the wild, it wakes it up. Number 19. Japan, 1630. A samurai prepares for a duel. He's proud, skilled, calm, the perfect warrior. He kneels, adjusts his armor, and draws his sword to polish it. Lightning flashes in the distance. He looks up, smirks, and suddenly, his blade glows. It wasn't the reflection. It was lightning, striking the sword he held. The duel never happened. Nature won first. Number 20, USA, 1975. A man named Gary Hoy loves proving a point. He's a lawyer, sharp suit, sharp tongue, and one favorite line. These skyscraper windows? They're unbreakable. To prove it, he runs full speed and slams into one. It doesn't crack. Everyone claps. Then he does it again. The glass still holds, but the entire frame pops loose. And Gary, the lawyer who always made his case, fell 24 stories, making his last one. Number 22, Germany, 1578. A man named George Richman is obsessed with lightning. He's the kind of scientist who doesn't just study storms, he invites them in. One afternoon, he's inside his lab experimenting with a metal rod attached to his house roof, waiting for thunder. The sky darkens. His assistant hesitates, then a blinding flash. It doesn't hit the rod, it hits him. The bolt tears through his head, melting his shoes to the floor. He became the first person in history to die taking a selfie with lightning, 2 centuries before cameras existed. Number 23, Italy, 1323. A king named Umberto II of Saluzzo sits down to dinner, eager for something new. His chef serves him a delicacy, eel soaked in wine and spices. He devours it, praises the cook, and drinks more. Hours later, his throat swells. He can't breathe. The eel had been poisoned, not by an assassin, but by itself. Eels stored in lead barrels had absorbed the metal. Doctors called it food poisoning. The court called it divine diet correction. Number 24, England, 1667. Thomas Urquhart, a scholar and philosopher, returns home to hear that Charles II has been restored to the throne. He's so ecstatic that the news literally overwhelms him. He laughs, once, twice, then collapses. His friends rush to help. Too late, he died of joy. Imagine waiting years for your favorite team to win, and your heart just says, that's enough emotion for one lifetime. Number 25, France, 1979. A stuntman named Basil Brown wants to live healthy. He swears by natural juices, carrot juice to be exact. He drinks it by the gallon, day and night, claiming it makes him invincible. Neighbors notice his skin turning orange, but he laughs it off. Then one morning, he doesn't wake up. Doctors find his liver destroyed, his body overloaded with vitamin A from all those carrots. He literally overdosed on vegetables. A tragic reminder, even health kicks can kick back. Number 26, Russia, 1978. A group of friends spend the night drinking in a small apartment outside Moscow. Vodka runs out, laughter fades, and someone remembers. The landlord keeps barrels of industrial alcohol in the shed. Alcohol is alcohol, one of them jokes. They pour it into glasses, toast to friendship, and keep going. Within an hour, they start collapsing. By morning, all of them are gone. It wasn't drinking alcohol. It was wood alcohol, methanol, poison. When the police arrived, the table was still set, glasses half full, and a record still spinning softly in the corner. They wanted one last toast. They got one last headline, number 27. South Africa, 2021. A man decides to make a viral stunt for TikTok. Man versus train. He stands dangerously close to the tracks, phone in hand, filming the perfect shot. The train horn blares. He doesn't flinch, but trains aren't movie props, and he wasn't the star. One slip of balance, one gust of air, and it's over before the camera stops rolling. The video hit 1 million views, just not from him. Number 28, Italy, 1518. It starts with one woman. She walks into the street and begins to dance. No music, no reason. Then another joins, then 10, then 50. Within days, hundreds are dancing uncontrollably through the city. Feet bleed, bodies collapse, but they can't stop. Historians call it the dancing plague. Some say it was stress, others say poisoned bread. Whatever it was, dozens danced themselves to death. And the scariest part? No one ever figured out why the music never stopped. Number 29. England, 1871. A man named Clement Vallandigham, a lawyer known for defending hopeless cases, takes on one more, a murder trial. His client swears he accidentally shot himself while drawing his gun. Clement believes him and decides to prove it. In front of the court, he grabs a pistol, loads it, and acts out the moment. But he forgets one small detail. The gun he's holding is loaded. He fires. The courtroom freezes. He collapses. The jury later acquitted his client, agreeing it was an accident. The lawyer won the case and lost his life proving it. Number 30. USA, 1974. A daredevil named Carl Wallenda, the greatest tightrope walker alive, has crossed Niagara Falls, skyscrapers, and city streets without a harness. But this time, he's 73, and he's performing between two hotels in Puerto Rico, 120 feet up, wind howling off the ocean. He steps out, steady, calm. Halfway across, a gust hits. He lowers himself to one knee, waiting for the wind to die, but the rope starts to sway. The crowd gasps as he tries to recover. Then, silence. He fell mid-performance, landing between the hotels. They called him fearless. Maybe he just never learned how to stop walking the line. Number 31. Japan, 1987. A zookeeper named Akira was known for his obsession with safety. He told every new employee the same thing. Respect the animals, and they'll respect you. He worked with bears for 20 years, fed them, cleaned their cages, treated them like friends. Until one day, he slipped. A bucket clattered, the bears startled, and instincts took over. The zoo found his radio still broadcasting static, his lunch half-eaten beside the gate. His final note in the logbook simply read, "Routine feeding, nothing unusual." Sometimes nature doesn't break its promise. It just reminds you who's in charge. Number 32. China, 1632. A scholar named Wan Hu dreamed of touching the stars. Long before rockets or NASA, he built his own space chair. 47 gunpowder rockets tied to bamboo poles beneath a wooden seat. Servants lit the fuses. Smoke filled the courtyard. A roar echoed through the palace walls. Then silence. When it cleared, there was no chair, no Wan Hu, just scorch marks and drifting ash. Some say he became the world's first astronaut. Others say he just took the fastest route to heaven. Either way, he proved one thing. Human curiosity burns brightest right before it blows up. Number 33. Florida, 1992. A man drives through a thunderstorm with a metal kayak strapped to the roof. Lightning flashes across the sky, once, twice. Then a third strike hits the kayak like a bullseye. The car's radio explodes, tires shred. By the time rescue arrives, it's just a smoking vehicle in the rain, headlights still blinking through the fog. Investigators called it an act of God. But if you ask me, it was just the universe saying, maybe don't strap lightning bait to your car. Across centuries and continents, one thing never changed: people's ability to turn ordinary moments into ridiculous finales. From kings and scientists to daredevils and dreamers, they all chased something: fame, fortune, curiosity, or just a good laugh. History remembers their names not for how they lived, but for how unbelievably weird they went out. This was the 33 weirdest deaths in history. Hit that subscribe before your story ends up on part 2.